What up, guys? Kevin here. Just about to go to bed, and it's like, yeah, let me check Twitter. And we got some news. I love news. I love gaming news. And I'm going to say this. I love this Activision Blizzard deal. I love talking about it. Once it's gone, once the deal goes through, we're going to have withdrawals, man. And I'm getting sick and tired of seeing all these podcasters like, I'm sorry, I'm sick and tired of it. I'm so sorry. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to, but you do because you enjoy it, and I enjoy it. Phil Spencer probably is not enjoying this process. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if this deal goes through. He's like, dude, I got one of the biggest deals to go through ever. I'm done, dude. I am done. I would not be surprised. I think contractually he has to stay at Xbox. I think if you're buying a company like that and really that's it for Xbox is Phil Spencer, I think he's probably contractually to stay at Xbox and running the ship, probably for a few more years, which is good. But he put out a tweet. We know this Activision Blizzard deal looks like it was going through some tough waters, but that seems to be working its way favorably for Microsoft. I guess the FTC, there was only one person who was in favor of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard deal. Now it's two. So it's 2 versus 2. And I think they're going to talk to whoever's running it saying, hey, 2 versus 2, we're pretty much going to win. Let me sit down with you one last time, explain why this is going to work for everybody. And I think that's what they're doing here. Phil Spencer putting out tweets. Microsoft has entered into a 10-year commitment to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo following the merger of Microsoft and Activision Blizzard King. Microsoft is committed to helping bring more games to more people however they choose to play. So not only that, let's stick on just Nintendo here. Nintendo's going to get Call of Duty. We knew this. We knew that's what Microsoft came out and said after they announced this deal. We want to get Call of Duty on Nintendo. And I will say, if this does happen and Call of Duty's on Nintendo, look, I love Nintendo. They're just doing their own thing. They're like, dude, we can put out broken Pokemon games and sell 10 million. We don't need you guys. We'll just have fun fighting it out. And they're just over there minding their own damn business. And Microsoft comes over. Hey, I know you guys are doing so great over here. So awesome. You're going to be the best selling console of all time. And Pokemon sold 10 million. Splatoon sold 3 million in Japan in a couple days. How would you like Call of Duty? How would you like to have the world's most popular franchise as well? And there's shit, we're just over here having a good time. Hell yeah, come on down, Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer's bringing the eggnog, the spiked eggnog, to the party in terms of Call of Duty. So now, what will that look like on the Switch? Well, I don't think next year we're getting a Switch. So that would be 2 years. So 2 years from now would be close to year 8 of the Nintendo Switch life cycle, which means we'll probably have another Nintendo console. So I don't know how that would look like, because there wouldn't be that many of those new Switches out. So would they still have to bring it to the old Switch? Would that be a cloud version? I'm sure they'll make it work. I do wonder if the deal fails and Activision Blizzard's like, we're not putting it on the Switch if the deal fails. They might be mad at Microsoft if the deal doesn't go through. And they're probably going to be mad at Sony as well, too. But let's get back over to Sony, or let's read the next tweet from Phil Spencer. He said, I am pleased to confirm that Microsoft has committed to continue to offer Call of Duty on Steam simultaneously to Xbox after we have closed the merger with Activision Blizzard King. So it doesn't sound like they wrote up a contract for Steam. It was just probably a simple phone call with Gabe Newell, who's off smoking hookah in New Zealand. Hey, I just want to write up a contract with you to bring Call of Duty on Steam for the next 10 years. And Gabe Newell, just do what you want. I don't give a fuck. I'm just hanging out here in New Zealand or going around to places and giving people their Steam Deck and having awkward conversations. That's probably how that conversation went. Which brings to Sony. What's going on with Sony here? Well, here's Brad Smith. He's I think the president or something at Microsoft. Our acquisition will bring Call of Duty to more gamers and more platforms than ever before. That's good for competition and good for consumers. Thank you, Nintendo. Nintendo's like, all right, we'll sign it. Sure. Any day Sony wants to sit down and talk, we'll be happy to hammer out a 10-year deal for PlayStation as well. I love that language. That language is, hey, you idiots, we got a simple, easy contract here where you get it for 10 years. Yeah, they've come out and publicly called out Sony. And yeah, Sony's going to lose a lot of money. They're going to lose a lot of money unless this deal doesn't go through, and that's why they're trying to keep it from going through. This is what happens when Sony just is stuck in their ways. They are absolutely stuck in their ways of, we're going to raise game prices. I mean, now Xbox did, but they were the first one to do it, and they're relying on really high-quality games like God of War to keep them afloat. And that is not enough. That is not enough. You know what I think? I think this deal goes through. I think we really might see their first-party games go day and date on PC as well, not just the multiplayer. Because it sounds like they make a lot of money from COD. Yeah, I don't blame them for trying to hold up the deal. But the way they've done it, yeah. I can see a very ugly world for Sony. Now, I still think Xbox are going to be super nice guys, and, they're going to give them a bone here with Call of Duty no matter what. Once the deal goes through, they'll be magnanimous, like, all right, whatever. I think they should absolutely get, they should be, after this deal, if I'm Microsoft, I would go money hat every third-party exclusive out there. The Series consoles are about to hit 20 million, well ahead of the 360, which went on to sell about 80, 85 million. So I think they're at that point where they can probably money hat some exclusives, and they really need to screw over Sony. They really need to make them pay. They really need to make them pay for holding this up. Because Xbox lost a year. Xbox didn't really do much this year. They didn't do anything. That is $70 billion. If that doesn't go through, that was money that could have been used on money hatting exclusives or making deals with other games or other developers that they could have purchased. And they just lost a year, and that would really probably not doom Series consoles. They're doing well, like I said, but just really change the outlook of Xbox. While Sony's just out here, they had a good year, and next year, Square Enix, they money had it all their games, so they're going to keep them afloat next year. Like, they're not going to miss a beat, even though they won't have really any first-party games. I don't think Spider-Man 2 is coming out next year. So, yeah, if I'm Xbox, make them pay. Make them pay. I like this tone. This tone of, hey, Sony, what are you doing? And if they don't want it, don't give them Call of Duty. If the deal goes through, and I don't think they're going to have to get any concessions with this. They basically boxed Sony and the CMA out. Sony and the CMA, they were running the show. And now Xbox and Microsoft, I think they played it quite well. They just kind of sat back and let the arguments come to them, and they're fighting it off. And now they're like, okay, all right, FTC, CMA. Right now, we're going to keep Call of Duty on Sony, Xbox, PC like it always is, and now we're going to bring it to 120 million as of right now. Switch consoles, or anybody with the Nintendo console can now play it on this Switch. So even leaving Game Pass aside, which gives easier access to the game, and the cloud version through xCloud, I mean, at that point, you are really rooting, you are really taking Sony's arguments and trying to protect Sony. You don't need to protect Sony over one game. That's what's crazy. Yeah, that's the crazy thing for me personally. And again, I don't know what I'm talking about here. I just assume the deal's going to go through until it isn't. Until it's like absolutely announced that it isn't. But for right now, it's 100% going through to me. But if Sony made it about like all the other games, like, oh, look at all these other franchises that they're going to get exclusive, to me, that would have been a stronger point, not the hypothetical that Xbox can make it exclusive to themselves, which they stated over and over they weren't going to do. And I think that's what pissed Xbox off was, wow, this argument's actually working because, oh yeah, they're PlayStation fanboys. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like when I watch like politics and the Republicans, they get really angry and they think it would drive the base. They think it would even turn Democrats when stuff like the Twitter files and stuff like that happens, gets dropped, the Hunter Biden laptop. The problem is you're trying to win over Democrats who don't care, who like, oh, our side did something naughty. I don't give a fuck. I don't like you guys. I don't want you in office. That's kind of like the Xbox and PlayStation thing going on right here with this Activision Blizzard deal. You're trying to point out, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this. And those people are like, cool, that sounds awesome, but I want Call of Duty on my PlayStation, so I don't give a fuck. That's how it is. They don't care. They don't care. You're going to make it more accessible for everybody with a screen in the world. They just care about PlayStation, which is a little scary. It's like, okay, you really need to take a step back and see how this deal is going to be helpful for everybody. Everybody. Yeah, PlayStation might lose a little bit of money. They might not have those exclusivity deals. But they really boxed them in. They really boxed them in with this. I think the deal, I don't know. I can't tell you when it's going to go through. But at this point, everything's been laid out there. I think this is the concessions Microsoft are making. And I think they were going to make this from the get-go. But, yeah, I mean, when it goes through, I really do hope Microsoft makes them pay. Like, really, try to put them out of business. I don't care. I love Sony TVs. If I have to switch over to Samsung, so be it. This is what PlayStation did, you know, when they started making PlayStation 1. Nothing was organic with the PlayStation 1. No. Who was a loser back then when PlayStation came around? Oh, Sega. And nobody gave a fuck about Sega. Luckily, they're still around now. I guess Sonic is winning. What's this whole thing with Sonic and Genshin Impact? I have no idea. You weirdos. But, yeah. I don't mind if I wake up one day and Sony's like, man, yep, Xbox did this. We're going out of business. It's all Xbox fault because of one game, Call of Duty. They made it exclusive. And I want them to make it exclusive. I like, once they have the deal, they should make it or keep it off PlayStation. If they're not going to sign a contract, I would do it. Like, why not? Why not? Take the money that you got from PlayStation and you're just moving it over from Nintendo. Like, just destroy Sony. Because I really do believe that Call of Duty money is the little profit that they make each year. So, but they were turds about this deal. I'd make them pay. And if I'm Xbox or Microsoft, I would put me in charge over there. I would absolutely destroy them. Absolutely destroy. If money is no issue over at Microsoft, oh my God. I would go to every studio and just be like, How much money do you expect to make from PlayStation? That much money? All right. Just make an Xbox version. I'm going to take care of you. At least you and upper management are going to be set for life. I don't know. Of course, it won't work that way. I think a lot of developers would be like, no, we can't do that. We got to protect Sony. Sony's sacred. They just are. They just are. There you have it. I'm rambling now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Later.